let's talk about neglect. Okay, are we rolling? All right, let's talk about neglect. Here behind me, you can see right here, let me turn this thing around so I can see what we got here. This big pile of brush here, this is the result of a couple of years of neglect. Now, part of what's in this is these pallets that were left over from the compost bin. But all of this brush is stuff I cut up yesterday, because on the back side of the house here, on this little hillside berm, whatever you want to call it, I haven't been keeping it up over the last few years, and a good 40-50 feet of it was just all these saplings that were growing up. You can see how big around some of them were, and it just had to be cut down because it was just looking horrible. And this green stuff in here, I think they're little magnolias. I don't know where they came from. All of a sudden one just popped up over here on this edge, and there were two small ones that had started growing up at the end of my driveway, but it was one of those things where I only see them when I back out in the morning heading to work, and see it again when I drive in the evening, and just don't think to go do something about it. And by the time I cut them down, they're 3-4 feet tall, but they had to be done. And it's just a result of neglect, and neglect gets in the way of accomplishing your goals, because you can't work on the things you want to work on because you got to get caught up with all the other stuff. Had a great example of that this week in class. Was putting in some homework grades early on in the school day, and maybe 5 kids out of each class, 3 different classes, 5 out of 30 something, turned into homework. Well, within about an hour, started getting notifications from students that they were submitting some late homework online, and had one student who had the audacity to ask me an hour later, "Hey, when you going to grade that homework that I turned in? I know I turned it in late." So we had a conversation. We'll call this student Johnny, because every student's name is Johnny when you're talking about something like this, right? Johnny had gotten the notification himself that, oh, Mr. Guthrie's putting in homework grades, and I just got a 0. He's in his English class. He takes 50 minutes of his English class when he should be working on English to do my homework, and submits it. And then immediately comes to my class. Well, what does he do when he's in my class, my math class? He's doing his English that he should have been doing during English class. You see how this happens? And that's the very same thing that happens in life. So you see how that works. You know, you don't keep up with the things on time, and you never get to the stuff that's important to do it on time. And unfortunately, the homestead here is just full of those projects. I've got a side porch that I just need to rip off and replace. I've got a back deck that needs constant repair. Most of it's going to have to be ripped up and repaired. And there's quite a few things just here in the yard that just need to be taken care of. But neglect is the reason why. And that's going to slow down some of my other goals. Let's talk a little bit more about those goals from the comfort and warmth of inside. Before we go inside, one quick update on the garden here. You can see the plastic still covering some things up. I need to uncover it maybe next weekend just to see how dry things are getting underneath, because I don't want that soil to get too dry. There's seams in here, so some water is able to get in, but I just don't want to dry up. But I noticed yesterday something's trying to get into the garden. And looky here, something has torn it. I have no idea what could have done that. I don't think the neighbor's chickens that are basically neighborhood chickens, because they spend more time in my yard than they do in his. That's something that I'm unfortunately going to have to address here soon. But anyway, I just found that odd. But we were heading inside. Let's go do that. All right, it's a little bit warmer in here, and pardon the harsh lighting. This is why it's really important for you guys to subscribe and share and like these videos if you're watching it, because maybe I can get enough views and make enough money I can buy some like real professional lighting, so I don't have like this partially lit left side of my face, and it's really a harshly lit right side of my face. Did I say that right? This is the left. This is the right. Yes, I'm not sure if that's how I said it, but that's what the directions is. R is R. I'm a math teacher. Anywho, neglect. If you keep things up, it's easier to maintain, and you can pursue some goals and things of that sort. My wife would kill me, and I'd be embarrassed myself to just go around all the little things that are here that I've neglected, that once I get around to doing something about them, it's going to take so much longer to take care of them. But just to use that conjunction and to join a couple different thoughts, you have to roll with it and fix it and just move on instead of letting it paralyze you. Let's talk real quickly about the goals. Today is February 7th. And I was talking with my son earlier this morning, or this afternoon. One of my sons, he's helping me do some equipment purchases that I need to do, give me some guidance, some direction, and just trying to decide when and how to pull the trigger on trying to develop these other income goals. And one of the things that I realized this week is, as I get closer to actually pursuing this, the amount of fear that's coming with that. So I guess this video is really about two things. One, neglect, how that can keep you from pursuing your goals. And the second thing is fear, how if you can get past the neglect, how fear can paralyze you and keep you from doing that. Financial risk is involved. And the question that I really have with some of the things that I'd like to pursue in terms of creating an income stream is, do I have the talent to produce the product that would be part of this income stream? That's another thing to consider in and of itself. But you got to go for it. You got to make it happen, because I think Michael Jordan once said he missed every shot he never took. You got to shoot your shot. So don't neglect what you've got going on in the world, in your world around you, so that you can pursue those things. And the second thing is, don't be afraid of it. You just got to go for it. Keeping it short today. No boring action montages of me mowing something or cutting down things. I actually did have some footage from yesterday where I was cutting down all those little trees, and the difference in the before and the after, but the quality of it was really pretty sorry, both from a videography standpoint and from an audio standpoint. So we're just going to move forward. If you enjoyed this video, despite the lack of boring action montage, then give it a thumbs up. Maybe even share it with somebody. Heck, if you like what's going on here enough, go ahead and subscribe so you'll know when I post a new video, and you can see what I'm up to next. Above all else, remember, the one who created you made you able to create. So get out there and make it, grow it, and live it. See you next time.